How was your week?
Redfall sucks. But should I start with a positive?
Oh, you want to talk about Worldfall? Let's.
No, wait. I'll start with something positive. So I was playing Metroid Prime Remaster, and I like it, but there's something about the flow of the game that isn't right with me.
Okay.
So I started and I thought I never had that problem with 2D Metroid games. So I started replaying Super Metroid, and I used my new controller that I got from Nintendo Online.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of figured it out. It's just that Super Metroid just has better level design, or more so should I say, it's like Resident Evil, where they kind of nudge you in the right direction, but they don't necessarily tell you. So so let's say you go somewhere, and you find something that you need to progress.
Mm-hmm.
You'll go back. Your new power-up will be immediately useful. You'll get like a health tank or a missile expansion. And then, when you go back further, but you're still inside the same area, you're going to eventually find a way where you can progress using your new ability. And, further on, when you go into other zones, like Norfair, that I like calling Not Fair, you'll find your abilities, that new ability that you got 2 hours ago is still useful and can be used for other things. The problem with Prime is that you get that new ability, and then you have to completely leave the fucking zone and go into an entirely different place for no fucking reason. And it's not... The only thing that tells you what to do is that after 10 minutes, the game pities you and just tells you, yo, go there, there's like something, that place is sus. But if it wasn't for that, you just wander aimlessly for hours, which is what happens. And it's not like, it's just modern video games ruined you. It was easy for me to go back to Super Metroid. But going back to Prime is harder because you go, that part of your brain that's creative and always like asking yourself questions. So you go, I should go there. And then, you pull out the most inane bullshit out of your ass. And you exhaust all possible options. Mm-hmm. And, you kind of, that meme with the guy with the board with all the connections? Like Yeah, you're like that in your head. And then eventually you go, that was the solution? And you don't feel like, oh, fuck, of course it was obvious. You're like, how the fuck was I supposed to figure that out? Like, I remember there was a blocked door at some point, and I had to destroy one statue to reveal, like, a switch. But all statues look the same, and it's not like one of the statues looked different or was cracked or anything. It was just... It just looked the same, and I think I scanned one of the statues and it didn't say anything, or I think because the scan feature is just not intuitive.
Yeah, no, I understand what you mean. Like, while I was using it, it's like you have to think about using it, and it's not like natural.
Yeah.
Like in other games, the scan is, I won't say, like in some game it's just too much. Like The Last of Us, the scan feature. It's just really annoying.
Yeah, but that's something different.
But
you use it because you want to see enemies.
Yeah, that's the thing. So it became a reflex and became natural. But in Metroid Prime Remake, it's not.
It's just...
It's there, but it's not.
In none of the Primes, it's really like useful. I played Prime 2. Prime 2 has something where, if something needs to be scanned... Mm-hmm. There's going to be like a red square around it, so you're like, I need to scan that. And
that's better.
Super Metroid has the X-ray, and it's an item you obtain after like 2 or 3 hours. But for some reason, I use the X-ray more because you get into a room and you think, man, that room is suspicious. So you go, well, I don't know which square that I need to destroy. Mm-hmm. So you think, let me use the X-ray. But in Prime, it doesn't happen enough. It's usually just something you need to switch on. Mm-hmm. But it's not obvious that you need to switch on something. While in Super Metroid, you go out of your way. You think, I want this thing that's hidden. I don't know where it is. But in Prime, it doesn't happen often enough that it becomes a habit.
Yeah. But at the same time, I do understand because at the same time, Sorry, not sorry. At the same time, it's the first game, so it's normal. Like,
But that's what I said in, well, it's not out yet, but my review is that it's the first 3D game, so it's kind of normal, and a lot of the things I heard that Prime 2 fixed it. So, and it's still a pretty good game.
yeah.
It's just that I prefer Super Metroid, but you know what I like the most?
What?
In Prime, you can do a lot of sequence breaks, but they were not intended. And each version, since the very first version of the GameCube, they tried to patch them all out. But in Super Metroid, some of the sequence breaks were intended, and even those that were not intended, they never patched them out. So you can still do a lot of shit, and it's not like Prime where you need to like nudge yourself in the corner and pass through the wall and then jump on like the geometry of the level. No, it's stuff where it looks clean, it looks legit, it looks like something, you know, that the developer wanted you to do. Because I know there's like documents where there's stuff like that, so they thought about it. So it's stuff like you know, when you transform into a ball,
Yeah.
you keep the momentum of when you run. So if they call that the mock ball. So if you transform just as you hit the ground, you keep the momentum, and you can, you know, when barriers close down, you can still pass them because you're going fast enough.
Okay.
So stuff like that. And that's what I was doing during this week. I sequence break the game. So I got shit really fucking early because of like advanced stuff like that. Like I learned that you know, when you run and you do the speed booster,
Yeah.
if you tap the run button, it's not even difficult. It's just tap. Well, you can charge the speed booster faster. So now you can do stuff where, you know, instead of, you know, there's a place the ruined the sunken ship where you need to cross a body of water, but if you don't have the grappling hook, you can't go through, and you can't get into the ship. But you can just use the speed booster to just zoom past the water and then get the gravity suit, and now you can just walk in the water normally. So it's a lot of stuff like that, and it's really fun. It's like Resident Evil 1, where it's like my comfort game now, where I play this because it's like, you know, if I suffer from dementia one day, you know, it's the kind of thing where, oh, it's a pattern. It's like
It's not already the case.
it's a habit. So no, I'm schizo and I'm probably autistic, but I'm not. I don't have dementia.
What's the difference?
No, schizo, your voices, and autistic, you're just stuck in your patterns. But you know, you have patterns, and it becomes a routine, and it's reassuring. And Samus has a big butt. So yeah, it was pretty cool replaying that with a real SNES controller.